Here's a tale of 3 pocket watches. This first one, this small little Elgin, I found that at my dad's after he passed away, and I remember him talking about it. It was, sorry about my fingers getting in the way there, but it was my grandfather's watch at one time. I don't know a lot about it. I know it doesn't run. You can't set the time on it. I've had the back off of it, and yeah, the hairspring, the first thing I noticed, the hairspring is bent all out of shape. It looks like a mess. I doubt that hairspring and that balance wheel can be salvaged. I may have to find a replacement. I don't know what kind of luck I'll have on that. The center watch is a Waltham. Let me just show you the back on this one here. It's got a couple little dents on it. This Waltham here, it's a pretty nice watch, and it's got quite a story. My dad, back in I'm going to say the early 50s, he drove taxi cab in Minot, North Dakota. And late one night, he got a call. A guy wanted to go to Williston, North Dakota, which was a 120-mile drive, cold winter night. So Dad went and picked this guy up, and late at night, the guy was drunk. He'd been out having a few drinks, and he was a doctor from Williston. So he took him to Williston, and when he come to pay the fare, he was a couple dollars shy of the fare amount. So he reached into his pocket and gave Dad the watch and says, "Will this cover it?" And Dad says, "Yeah, it sure would." And away he went. Dad went back to Minot. Dad took a few dollars of his own and covered the fare and kept the watch. And here it is. It will wind up, it'll run for a little bit and then quit. I'm sure it's dirty. I'm sure it needs a service. And then this one, I bought on eBay. It's a American Watch Company, and that's also Waltham. I think I paid $35 for it. It does the same thing as Dad's doctor's watch. It'll run for a little bit and then quits. Anyway, I'm going to try and get these 3 watches running. I don't know what kind of luck I'll have, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to start with this one. I don't have much for tools. I've got some jeweler's screwdrivers and some tweezers and a couple other things. And to start with, since this one does run but just doesn't run for long, I'm sure it just needs a cleaning and an oiling. So I'm going to, with the limited tools I have, I'm going to attempt to take this watch apart. I've got a sonic cleaner. I'll clean the parts and try to put it back together with some oil and see if I can manage that and see if we can make it run. And if I can do that, then I'll maybe splurge a little bit and order some better tools, a few more tools that I'll need. But I'll let you guys know how this transpires. Well, I took the back off. This Waltham American Watch Company, or what is it? Waltham American Watch. Waltham. Took the back off, and it's really kind of interesting. It's got a fortune case on it. I'm sure it's what they call gold filled. And if you look real close, I don't know if we can get it here or not. but there's some dates on here. I think that says 1952. Let me try it. I'm hand holding this. I'm really sorry. I'll try to get better. There's the one. I think that's 1952 there. But anyway, those are dates that some other jeweler, watchmaker, has scratched into the back of the cover on this thing to determine when it was serviced. A lot of times they put their initial, or there's one right there, 64. Well, I'm not sure what that is. But anyway, this is pretty short-lived. My smallest screwdriver is 1.4 millimeter. And let me get over here to the works. Really pretty cool, pretty neat. Pretty neat watch. Everything looks good from what I can see, other than you can see dirt in the jewels. I'm sure that's why it's not running. But my problem is, and I'll try to do this without ruining the watch. There's my smallest screwdriver. And there's the, let me get a bit of light. There's the smallest screw. So I need to get some smaller screwdrivers. I have to take those out to get those ruby jewels out of there. When I say ruby, my understanding is they're not actually ruby. They're man-made rubies, but they're the color of rubies. They got that reddish color. But I'll have to take those out and clean them and oil them and put them back in. And I don't have a screwdriver that small. The rest of this I could probably take off. I don't know. I don't know if you can see it, but this round portion right here that's underneath this plate, that's what they call the barrel, and that's where the spring is. And I'm not real sure how to, I think it's wound up. And I'm not sure that I got to get the pressure out of that spring, or the power. I got to let the power down. I'm not real sure how to do this. I'm going to have to do a little bit of research. So anyway, I got to order some screwdrivers and do a little bit of research on how to depower this thing. And we'll go from there. Okay, now time to take the hands off. Never done this before. They look awful delicate. Got this little tool right there that go down and pinch the hands and pull up on them. So we'll give it a try. Be right back. I did get some tools. I got a good pair of screwdrivers, or a good set of screwdrivers now. Working on Grandpa's old Elgin. First thing I'm going to do is take out those two screws at 1 and 7 o'clock there. That should hold the movement in the case. Okay, so we got the hands off. That dial is cracked up some there, but you know, I think most of them are. I just hope it doesn't fall apart on me when I try to take the dial off of the works or off of the movement. Okay, next to come off is that little wheel right in the center there. I believe they call that the hour wheel. And it should just come right off of there. Oh, I'm going to try to take that canyon pinion off. The one right in the center of the picture there. Okay, so now I'm going to take that balance wheel cock and assembly off. I don't know if you can see kind of right at the bottom center there, that hairspring. That hairspring looks like it's all messed up. I'll probably know a little more when I get this off of there. Wish me luck. Okay, so next I'm going to take off that center wheel bridge. There's two screws there. Looks like there's the center wheel and the spring barrel that's supported with that bridge. I don't know if you can see it. I'll try to zoom in here, but it looks to me like that pinion, what do you call it? The pallet fork is all messed up. I don't see a jewel in that pallet fork. Looks almost like the banking pins are bent. That fork's got to be messed up. I'm thinking somebody tried to play with this thing and tried to take it apart with the spring wound up. We'll see. I'm new at this. I'm going to go a little deeper here. I'm going to take that center wheel bridge off. I have to apologize for the quality of this video. My original intent was not to put this on YouTube. It was just meant to be reference for me to figure out where the parts come from and how to put them back together. That's why it's just handheld. It shakes. I'm sorry about that. I hope you don't get seasick watching it. Next time will be better, I promise. I took that center wheel bridge off. The center wheel in the barrel doesn't seem like it wants to come out. But this little guy, he comes out, and I'm not real sure what we got here, but that center section slides into that, and it just kind of lays in there loose. So that's the next thing that comes out. Okay, next I'm going to take out that, what would it be? Second, third, and fourth wheel bridge. Here we go. Okay, took that center wheel out. The long shaft goes down into that hole towards the dial face of the dial side of the movement. Then next will come that, not sure what it is, fourth wheel, maybe? This one right here. That fourth wheel come out. Or I don't know. Next one's this second biggest one on the right here. That last one I took out, that long shaft goes down. I'm assuming the same thing here. I'm looking on the microscope too. The pinions look good. That's a good sign. I was worried about that. And there's the pallet wheel. I don't know if I can get that out or not. That's I'm going to try next anyway. I'm going to cut this video off for right now. We'll continue on next week. Hey, this is my first attempt at ever trying to take a watch apart like this. These parts are really small. That's the first thing I noticed. And I don't know the terminology on a lot of this stuff. So bear with me. It's all a learning experience. We'll get better as we go on here. But I've got a lot of, well, those 3 pocket watches and some regular watches I'd like to get back up and running if I can figure out how to do this. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.